terrible Ted Green was a rugged and tough defenseman who mixed it up with the best the NHL threw at him.
Cut back to Green. He's shifting. He is in for a score!
At 5'11" and 185 pounds, Green was not big, but he was robust. He finished his NHL career with over 1,000 penalty minutes in 11 seasons with the Boston Bruins. A stick-swinging incident with Wayne Mackey cost Green the 1969-70 season and left him with a metal plate inside his head. But his teammates voted him a full share of the Stanley Cup money that year. Green returned to the ice with one of his best seasons and followed that up with a Stanley Cup in 1972. The following year, he bolted to the upstart WHA. There, Green continued to prove he was a champion at every level of his career. In the 1980s, Green took his talents behind the bench.
As a player, I had good instincts and good intuitions, and I think that will play a key role in my coaching abilities.
It did. As an assistant coach, Green won 4 Stanley Cups with the Edmonton Oilers and a 5th as co-coach in 1990. The Oiler dynasty brings back fond memories for Green and his colleague Glenn Sather, whom he followed to the New York Rangers. 6 Stanley Cups, 3 Avco Cups, and a Memorial Cup. Ted Green is now a worthy member of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. At 13, Tony Neceda knew soccer was his destiny. Neceda's playing career spans 3 decades and shows no signs of slowing down. Most recently, he won the 2002 Canadian Senior Men's Championship with the Sons of Italy. Neceda has won a Canadian Soccer League Media Cup, 7 Manitoba Soccer Association Cups, and spent 8 years on the Canadian national team. In the 1980s, he represented Canada for Olympic and World Cup qualifiers. Neceda's pro career began in '87. He was the first ever draft choice of the Winnipeg Fury and a 2-time CSL All-Star. Neceda captained the Fury, the Hamilton Steelers, and the Toronto Rockets of the American Professional Soccer League. One of Neceda's proudest moments came in 1992.
I can't believe it. We've come full circle. We're in the final, and we're just 1 game away from bringing this cup back home.
When the Fury won its first Media Cup in the CSL's final championship. Though he still calls Winnipeg home, Neceda has spent the last 2 years running Manshield Construction's Calgary office. Tony Neceda, the North End kid turned national team player, now a member of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. Herb Olufsen was a rising star on the local basketball scene. In 1950, he led Glenlawn to the Suburban Conference High School Championship as league top scorer. In '51, Olufsen continued to shine, helping the Winnipeg Stellars capture their 2nd consecutive junior national championship. The following year, he led the St. Vital Juniors to the national final and was touted best junior pivot in Canada. In senior, Olufsen played for Paulins, averaging 23 points per game. He captured the scoring title and was named to the first All-Star team. He became the first Manitoban to double as junior and senior national champion when Paulins won the Canadian Amateur title in '54. That same year, he represented Canada at the World Basketball Championships in Rio de Janeiro. The Minneapolis Lakers offered him a rare tryout for the NBA. In '59, he again represented his country at the Pan Am Games in Chicago. Sadly, Olufsen passed away in 1992 at age 58. Twice inducted in the team category to both the Manitoba Sports and Manitoba Basketball Halls of Fame, Herb Olufsen now takes his place as an athlete in the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. Grant Skinner's extraordinary ability and love of softball is in his blood. At 15, he was recruited by his father, who coached the Keewol Seals. In '72, Skinner played in his first Canadian Senior Men's Championship. The following year, the Western Major Fastball League was born, bringing high-caliber fastball to the prairies. Skinner played second base for the Winnipeg Colonels, winners of the first WMFL championship. A perennial all-star, he won batting, home run, and stolen base titles, and was league MVP. In the early '80s, Skinner was an MVP and two-time All-Star at the Canadian Senior Men's Championship. He was ready for the international stage. Canada struck gold in the '83 Pan Am Games, and Skinner hit a homer and drove in 4 in the final against the USA. In '84, he moved to Ontario and helped Canada win silver at the ISF Worlds. Twice nominated for Manitoba Male Athlete of the Year and a member of both the Manitoba and Canadian Softball Halls of Fame, Grant Skinner is now a worthy member of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. The Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame and Museum proudly presents the 2003 inductees. And now the builders. As a track and field coach, Jeff Collins has had a powerful impact on our local sporting community. His Grant Park teams won 22 provincial championships between 1984 and 1995. They also claimed several city championships at the junior high level.
The junior boys 800-meter final, no one's going to catch Byron Goodwin of Grant Park with a great finishing kick.
Many of Collins' athletes have gone on to enjoy national and international success. Most recently, Collins has been coaching world-class runner Jason Chartrand, a Special Olympian ranked 10th in the 1500.
These track kids are, I think, pretty courageous athletes.
A coach's coach, Collins served as head coach and clinician for the Legion Athletic Camp for 32 years. He's also taught in several national coaching certification programs. He's been convener and co-meet director of the Manitoba High School Athletics Association Provincial Track and Field Championships for 17 years. His focus is always on the athletes.
In terms of senior athletes, grade 11s and 12s, we got a tough group of kids.
Coach, convener, and clinician, Jeff Collins' influence on the local athletic scene makes him a worthy member of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. Dr. Fred Stanbrook arrived in Manitoba from Vienna and quickly became a leader in the local soccer scene. He served on the executive of the Manitoba Minor Soccer Association in the mid-70s. In the 80s and 90s, he was president of the Canadian Youth Soccer Association, the MSA, and the CSA. Stanbrook urged unification of soccer's authorities and helped write the MSA Constitution. In '86, he helped Canada qualify for the World Cup in Mexico City. In the early 90s, Stanbrook served as a member of the FIFA Appeals Committee, including the '94 World Cup in the USA. A leader in rural soccer development, authority on the rules of international women's soccer, longtime youth referee, and a champion of the game for young people. Dr. Fred Stanbrook now takes his place in sport history in the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. The Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame and Museum proudly presents the 2003 inductees. The teams. The last Manitoba team to capture the crown jewel of junior hockey, the Winnipeg Braves, winners of the 1959 Memorial Cup. The Braves came out of Manitoba as Turnbull Cup champs, victorious in 5 games against the St. Boniface and Fort William Canadians. The best-of-7 tilt against the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers went 6. The final game with over 9,000 cheering fans at Winnipeg Arena, and the Braves were Western champs. The stage was set to host the Peterborough Petes. The Braves dropped the opener, then came back to win 4 in a row, clinching the cup in the final game 6-2. The Braves Brain Trust, President Jack Perrin, manager Bill Addison, coach Bill Allum, and trainer Jim Drury. The roster, Ernie Wakely and Zenon Moroz in goal, and Paul Sexsmith for insurance. Blue Liners, Doug Monroe, Lou Muller, Wayne Winston, John Sutherland, Al Igmanson, Gary Bergman, and Teddy Green. Up front, Al LeBlanc, Bob Leader, and Laurie Langbrell. Forwards, Al Beatty, Rene Brunel, Ernie Bradawoski, Ken King, Ted Knight, Pat Angers, Bob Wales, Don Adamanchuk, Howie Hughes, Jerry Crook, John Roger, and Captain Wayne Larkin. A special team that accomplished what no other Manitoba team has done in 44 years and counting. The 1959 Winnipeg Braves, Memorial Cup champions, and now members of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. In the golden era of senior hockey, the Winnipeg Maroons shone brightest in 1963-64 as Allen Cup champions. They disposed of the Port Arthur Bearcats in 4 straight and eliminated the Saskatoon Quakers in 5. Having lost the Allen Cup final in 61 and 63, the Maroons now enjoyed home ice in 64. They swept the Eastern champion Woodstock Athletics 4 straight, to capture the symbol of senior hockey supremacy. Leading the team to victory, President Terry Hine, GM Bud Holohan, and coach Gord Simpson. The Maroons netminders, Don Collins and Gord Dibley, with Julian Klimke in reserve. Also on the roster, Ross Park, Elliot Chorley, Aggie Kuklowitz, and Chuck Lumsden leading the scoring parade. Brothers Al and Bill Johnson, Lou Joyal, Murray Couch, Tom Marshall, Ron Castellane, Sheldon Bloomer, Fred Dunsmore, Jim McKenzie, Reg Abbott, Ron Farnfield, Gary Altcorn, John Russell, Bernie Grabinski, and veteran Danny Summers. Junior additions Terry Ball, Ron Kuhlman, Leo Connick, and Dick Braun to offset key injuries. It would be almost 40 years before Manitoba celebrated another Allen Cup, testament to the greatness of the 1964 Winnipeg Maroons, now members of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame.